Welcome to day 38. You've heard it said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, when someone strikes you on the left cheek, turn to them the right one also. We live in a world where mounting one's defense and seeking justice for every wrong done to us is expected of us to do. We're not expected to sit and to turn another cheek. In our world, it is one's right to inflict the law or to return the law of an eye for an eye. 2,000 years after Jesus taught us a different way, we are still taking a tooth back. Now, it's been that way since the very beginning. But I dare say that with the advent of the internet and then the creation of social media, it has become increasingly normal to take private offenses done between individuals or on a small scale, and to air them out publicly for all to see and for all to sit in judgment, to attack back against the offender, not in the way that it was done to us, not an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth, but an eye for a face or a tooth for let's attack the whole person. I'm not just talking about those who haven't read the words of Jesus or who don't meditate on and consume the words of Jesus. It happens within the church, and it happens amongst those who claim to be his followers. We fight against one another when we don't get our way. We hold grudges, we gossip, we backstab, and that's really just about each other. What's our response when people speak negatively about Christians, when they speak negatively about our faith, when they attack our faith, and especially if they're not attacking the faith of others? Is our response to people hating Christians a Christ-like response? Jesus promised us that we would be hated because he was hated. Jesus promised us that in this world we would have difficulties. But he assured us that we could take heart because he had overcome it. When we see Jesus enduring these accusations through his mock trials, we see him overcoming that response that humans so typically want to give when false accusations, or even many times when true accusations, are being thrown their way. As is often the case, it is tempting to believe that Jesus was only able to endure the ridicule thrown his way because he was God. But let us not forget that he was also fully human. The man who could have called down angels to defend him, the man who could have aired everybody's dirty laundry because he knew all of their dirty little secrets, the man who had the power to end the lives of his accusers, that man stayed silent. If you are a follower of Jesus, how does his silence while enduring these accusations, while enduring these attacks, again, they're not just hating Christians at that point, they're hating Christ himself. How does his silence in the face of true persecution influence your response when people attack you or your faith? It's incredibly easy to make excuses for our responses and our behaviors, but instead of justifying our response by the world's standards, may we remember how Jesus handled himself. I invite you today, this Maundy Thursday, to go back and read again the trials of Jesus. How did he respond? How do your responses compare to his responses? I'll see you tomorrow as we remember that very first Good Friday.